Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing, well, it's still International Women's Month, and we're discussing issues that have to do with discrimination, not just against women this time around, across board. So there was a tweeter who sent a message saying that a lady was not allowed to be employed, got a job, was not allowed a job because she had a leg chain on. Now, what happened was that this woman was trying to get a job, and I think she got to the point of interview. But when the employer noticed she had a leg chain, she told her she couldn't get the job. Another similar story, a lady was saying that when she went for an interview, they were judging her because she was short. There's a story that said, yeah, because I was too short. Well, it depends on the kind of job. Others are saying, oh, because I have a blonde hair, or because I have a tattoo, or because I have a nose ring, I have an extra piercing. Or I'm a man, I weave your hair. So these are forms of discriminations, people have said, but we're not looking at it vis-a-vis an employer's perspective. What do I look to, who do I look to employ vis-a-vis the kind of job I have? And would you say you should look more about the competence over the way they look? What are your thoughts on this? You can join the conversation, 081-270-53687, 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So this issue of discrimination, I mean, it's an interesting topic, especially you're all employers of labor. And how does it come to you where somebody comes in all sorts of, look, and you're thinking, okay, can I hire this person? Let me start with you, BC.
Okay, so in this part of the world, we're used to judging a book by its cover. That's our tradition. So even before you speak, people pay attention to your appearance. When you walk into a room, they look at you, they size you up. They are, thinking with a lot of filters, the sort of hair you're wearing, the sort of outfits you have. They will look at your bata, especially if you're a guy. You're wearing some shoes that look very funny. They will look at you. They would have judged and condemned you even before you open your mouth to speak. So you need to understand where you're coming from if you're seeking for a job. And also, different jobs have different criteria, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's the specifics that the employers of labor require. So, for instance, if you're getting a job in an airline, you are required to be of certain height, 5 feet something, as an air hostess, You can't be short being in that. If you're seeking a job as probably a runway model, you're supposed to be like from 5'10", 11, 6 feet. You know that. If you're seeking a job as an engineer, you're supposed to have a certain kind of, So those are criteria that work best for that job. So I wouldn't blame the employers for having those sort of criteria because they want the best for their job. However, it's important that you make it known on time. So you put it in your website or your wherever the platform is where they are going to be, that these are the criteria needed for this job before they come in. So you don't waste people's time. You are placing your job advert and you're not saying the criteria that you need, and everybody just comes in with their CV and they do interview and you waste all their time and say, no, you are too short, you are too fair, you are too dark. That's
sometimes it's very difficult to cover all of these things. You're tall, you're fat, you're
So different jobs, of course, they don't have the same criteria.
Oh, yeah,
so you know the criteria needed for the job that you want to employ people in and state it there. So it's like a character Bible. You see what you are coming for. If I don't fit in, I don't bother sending in my CV. That's one. There was another point I wanted to make before you cut me.
You'll come back to cover the other point.
For me, as an employer, when I saw this message, I'm like saying, are you the one that want to pay the salary? Now, me won't pay salary. I can choose if I want to employ someone or not. And when it comes to employment, while skill is very important, character is the most important. Because what they don't have, you can train someone to do. If they have the right attitude, they have the right character, they can learn. Lecturing would be a red flag to me. Now I know.
Why is it a red flag?
Because it would just make me feel that you are looking for a job. I see you come to employment, you are looking for a job, you have iPhone 13 or maybe...
Would have been a gift.
So, order of priority. So I see you don't have a job. I know how much I want to pay. Your lifestyle already looks like you are very expensive. You might not fit into my organization. My organization now is on a hustle, hard work stage. It's not on a stage of you are flexible. No, it's not largesse. I am on a serious hard work hustle. Everybody is grinding. So if you already have that, I'm comfortable, I just want something I can do while I'm also getting allowance, I will simply shift you. You won't get employed. If you come looking hungry, not that you're looking tired, or you want to work, you come and you tell me, whatever you give me to do, I will deliver. That attitude will get me to be more willing to employ you. It's not about your certificates now. It's about the attitude I get. So when you have leg chain, it shows like you have arrived. Now, because we live in Nigeria, and we know we live in Nigeria, and most of your employers are not from abroad, except your employer is from a different client. When you are seeking job here, you should strip yourself of some things that might make you look funny. So you will have somebody in our TVC has purple hair. She knows if she was trying to get a job in TVC, she won't have come here with purple hair.
Why? She's an entertainer now.
No.
That's the job she's doing.
Maybe we should call a HR person to call into the show and tell us.
No. Okay, let me come to you, Nima. So, there's that conversation of, do you judge somebody by the nose ring they are wearing or by the content of what they have?
Maybe when you've known them. There's a saying called dress how you want to be addressed. And it is most important when you're approaching the place of intended employment, where you're hoping they employ you. You want to be at your very best. So if you're going to a bank, for instance, where you know skill, looks, poise, and all of that is important, put all your A game on. You know, I love leg chains, I love waist chains, but I did not even approach the bar with any of that. Those are my excesses. When you come into my private house, you see them. Now that I'm at a point where entertainment, I forget it and wear it out of the house. But I remember that I used to wear those things in the house, and when I'm about to leave the house, it's part of the things I will take off. And it's not part of my dressing to go out. It's just that I've relaxed now, and I'm letting a lot of things show. So if you're looking for a job, those are some of the things that you must do. But then BC hits the nail on the head when she talks about setting job appropriateness. So for some jobs, it is not discrimination if your height is being discussed or because we know in the military, when they are recruiting, I saw the list for the Naval, they are looking for build. They're looking for fitness. They're looking for a lot of things. You cannot now come there and say, hey, I have a health condition and they discriminate. No. We cannot be using one mouth and two mouths to say the same things.
We blame the police for discriminating against young boys on the road. They're just wearing their dreadlocks and braiding their hair. That's part of the discrimination we're talking about.
That's profiling.
You know?
If you profile, I in the hijab get profiled. I take my time to stop when you say, because people were using hijab at some point for suicide bombing. Do you want to search? I'm willing, if after that search you're still discriminating, the matter will not sleep. I will sue you. Because I have given you the right to confirm your. So a police who is profiling for certain reasons, it is when the person is resisting beyond understanding, or you after searching, okay, you see me in dreads and you think and I've shown you my ID card, you've seen I work at a credible place, I am a credible person, I just have this, and you do not let me go. It's something, is it your head? You know, then it is much more. Profiling itself is not bad.
It is the abuse of the profiling that we complain with. If you see somebody with green hair, with big chain,
and you have the suspicion
to stop. And then when they tell you to stop, they ask you, what do? You say, I'm a performing artist. I have my videos on YouTube. I'm a comedian. I'm a this one. I'm a that one. And there's legitimate. I have my ID card. I'm doing this one. Then you move on. They should release you. It is when they hold you back, even after you have explained what you do, and they check your phone and say, how do you have 1 million? That's abuse. That's what we're currently with.
Okay, but there's this angle. There's someone that I know who is an albino. And it took him so many years to get a good job because people just they just felt that, how would I hire an albino? Yeah. It was a major thing for him, you know. But today he secured a job many years ago now. I mean, now he's like a manager. I mean, he's one of the best workers there. But before he got that job, he was giving us testimony in fact that it took him a long time. People just didn't just trust his skin color. They discriminated against him because of his skin color. Yeah. So why do we therefore judge people based on their skin tone or what they're wearing or their lashes or why do we don't just say, let me look past what you have and bring you in first?
Yeah, it's also about mindset. You know, we're still a developing nation. We're still learning a lot of things, and it's important that we pick the good things and leave the bad ones that don't serve us. So back in the day, like I started in the beginning, that we judge a book by its cover. That's just how we are. So over time, we're now learning that, give this person a chance. You can actually see something different. I had a friend of mine who, he's been in one sector for a very long time, and then he was going for this interview. And he didn't know how the interview was going. They called him in the evening. He didn't know how the interview was going to be. He just felt he didn't really was in a space where he was struggling for a job. He just, okay, somebody told me about this, let me give it a try. And he walked in there. Unfortunately for him, it was white people. So when other people were seated, they were all on suit, decked, tie, everything. Bah, 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 bah. He wore a jean, wore a trainers, and wore a T-shirt. And he got there, was like, whoa, this is serious. Oh, and I can't go home right now. I just have to stay. He got the job because the people seated there were more about the content. They know that when it comes to the dressing, they can always give their rules and regulations. This is how we dress here, this is this, this is that. But what do you have to offer? So some persons and some employers of labor are getting to that point now where they look beyond how you look. That can be corrected when you get the job. Once you fit in the criteria, how you look doesn't matter. We don't wear leg chains here. We don't wear this here. We don't wear that there. If you want, you come. If you don't want, you go. But so, can you deliver on the job? So the job's now about the skills that you have, what you are bringing to the table. For your appearance, we can sort out. We discuss it at the level of picking up your letter. And if you say, no, I can't do away with my leg chain, then you go for somebody else to come in.
I remember the situation because back there, many of it, I told you the story of my accident. Many years ago, they had to shave up the entire left side of my head. So my head didn't grow for years because in fact, till now, that line doesn't grow. So I had to be wearing a head tie all through for like 2 years or so before the hair started coming out. And I was going for interviews, and they were just then, it wasn't so common. There was just something, why would you wear a head tie for an interview?
Mindset.
Then wigs weren't so common then. You have to weave your hair. So I was just in my head tie. And I noticed that it was later on, they said, Mariam, the head tie is a problem. You have to now deliberately go and find something, a wig. You have to find an Afro wig to wear. So that was, was when you're talking, I now remember that situation. People
in the Western
world. In the Western world,
yeah.
we erroneously sometimes discriminate without we judge people before we get them a chance.
Are you grateful now for the creator of wigs?
Of course, I am grateful for.
So let me say this. What we relate with what we're familiar with. Yeah. That's human nature. And if we did not learn profiling, many people will have died. So we've learned to see, this is a lion.
We label it.
We label it. Yeah. That's for our safety. We run. We see a man, like there was a guy that was trying to date me, and he just had this look of, he just looked so rugged that I felt this guy must be into some form of, and he had money, like he was into some illegality. That's me labeling. And I ran from that relationship. But I later found out that he was into illegality. So he had the look, and I profiled him right. So sometimes we profile, we're not used to, albinism is not a norm. It exists, but when somebody comes into your space, it's not the usual people you see. So your first reaction will be,
are you sure?
Let me be sure. So it is important that we open up ourselves more. Yeah. Even I know I have some bias. I know when we're discussing breaking bias, Mariam mentioned the fact that there are many unconscious bias that we don't even know. So if you are a woman and you look sickly, you come to my gender, a man, you look sickly. You are like, maybe you have SS or something. I don't know whether you have it, but you look sickly. I'll be like, this one will be asking for days off work. I will not want to. So that's wrong because I'm not giving opportunities to as many people as are qualified for those opportunities. And we must be open to giving opportunities to everyone. So
you may also be right.
We need to be more open. We need to be more open with employment. We need to dress appropriate when going for job interviews.
You need to dress appropriate. My partnership, originally we were 3 partners. What broke the partnership was an employment case. So we needed a secretary and we kept having meetings. We wanted to sit as a panel on the interview for the secretary. But eventually it couldn't happen. I think I lost an uncle and had to cancel. And so one of the partners just, said, because we had said at a meeting, employ. We didn't say ratify, confirm an employment, and then he employed and confirmed the person and said she'll be resuming November, I think that year. And I came into my office, and the sight of a girl in tinted hair, and not this one shaved, the middle hair, as the image of my firm, it didn't sit well with me. It didn't represent who I was. And I said, this firm has an image. This person cannot be. I greeted her, I smiled at her, I didn't show anything. I said to him, she couldn't have been confirmed. And he protested, and everybody scattered, pepper scattered the firm. So I just could not understand.
But would you have preferred you gave her a chance? You will see if she knows the word.
I tried to. What I tried to do was see how I could talk to her. Right. And then she had this image of, no, I wasn't recruited by you. I said, no, in this...
And was she willing to change the hair?
No. She had that arrogance. And I said, I said to her, when I came in, she just said, hello, what do you want to say? I said, if you come into the firm, my own office carries all my paintings because I can't keep my paintings and pictures at home. And if you see me and asking me what I want to see, it means that you did not take notice of the environment and you've been here a week. So I said to her, this is my office. I said, oh, okay. I was like, this one. So I went in, I called her, after like a 30-minute sitting down, I called her into the office and said, you know me now, were you briefed on the partners? They said something like that.
Jesus
I said, okay,
Christ.
okay. How are you? Where do you come from? How far is it to work? This is me now trying to confirm how much you'd be getting at the end of the month. The language just wasn't sitting well. Some people don't work on their self. I eventually, I was going to say to her, do you know you need to wear a headscarf? When you were talking about it, I was going to say to her, I can keep you if you're good, you're skillful, if you can wear a headscarf. So your hair and your personality is for your house, your privacy. It can't be the image of my workplace. So I was going to say that, but other factors now led to me just saying, this is not going to work. Because I cannot be telling somebody who is already saying, okay, they told me about that you have to wear a headscarf.
But people shouting discrimination.
But based on what she said, shouldn't the firm therefore have put out, okay, this is what I'm looking for?
Exactly.
Well, you can't cover, but my worry is that you can't cover everything. How would you know the person is going to come with the golden hair?
No.
So not part of what you say.
You cover the basics.
Appreciate about
you don't necessarily have to list no golden hair, but there's a standard. You know, let me borrow.
Usually they don't go public.
International best practice.
No, usually you don't go public with what you're looking for.
When they come in,
the employers or whoever the panel is always know what they're looking for. So you come as you are, and if they think you have that skill, they might just ask for a compromise.
Let me quickly just
if you're mature, you give that compromise. If you don't want to give it, you go home. But okay, sorry, when you discriminate on a person's physical, natural, and as against their skills, it just might be discrimination because you know it's a lot of precedents that we have and they're not confirmed across board. But discrimination has earned people a lot of money in a lot of ways.
If you want to wear electric, wear trousers too.
Let me quickly throw this in because there are many people that are seeking employment and they are wondering, okay, why am I not getting the job? It's important before you go for any interview to study the organization you're going to interview with and you know what they look like already. So you prepare yourself. When in Rome, you behave like a Roman. So if you see that this office, I've seen their pictures online, I've Googled the CEO. The CEO does not wear earrings, he does not do hair. When you are going there, I'm not saying you will not wear earrings, but you will not wear something dramatic. You might wear a small one because you understand you want to get a job.
True.
You want to get a job. Your work life is different from your person. You can be, this is me at work, outside, and I always use someone I really love, what's her name? Larry Luciana's wife. That woman, she's a C-suite corporate executive. See her outside office.
The house,
the hot sexiness of this woman is out of the world. But she understands that when I'm working at Transcorp, I look this way. When I'm going partying, I look this way. You must learn that maturity to segment.
I remember when I was still a performing artist, there was a church, a redeemed church that invited me. And then my manager at the time said, BC, you cannot wear trousers. I know you are rapping, but this is a very conservative church. If you wear trousers to perform here, they won't even pay attention. They're like, this one are the devil. They won't listen to you. It's very conservative. And I found it very difficult. Like, I was telling my husband, do I need to? Let them know me for who I am. My husband said, do you want to perform in that church? Please, let's wear a dress. And I wore a dress to that performance. So you need to find a way to adjust. There was also another school just along this Magodo when I just finished NYSC. And I came for interview. And I saw that everybody had this natural hair at the time. They were wearing long skirts and everything. From where I was sitting at this time, I said, these people will employ me. Because I was already out. What trouser I wore. I said, these people, and they did not call me. So I just went home. So you need to understand where you're working and dress appropriately.
Okay, so I think we did justice to that topic. In summary, do a recce or surveillance of where you're going to. Go there, find out the culture of that company. Ask questions. And even when you finally get the job, find out questions about what the company is about, who they do. So you can adjust yourself. You're starting a career.
Job,
So you should be able to sacrifice at some point your liking, those kind of things you like to do. Sacrifice it for the company. When you get to your house, you can be you. But the moment you enter that company, dress as they expect you to dress so that you can at least grow in your career. That is all we can take on today's show and the week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.